Intravenous 2 is one of the best stealth games I've ever played, but it's not without its share of problems, and the question is it worth playing? Intravenous 2 is a mission-based stealth game where being silent is optimal, but also optional. You have a noise meter, which shows how loud certain actions are, with the most notable being your movement speed. You can scroll through different speeds, but the faster you are, the more noise you make. What equipment you take with you on a mission also determines how noisy you are. Wearing heavy plated armor means that you'll be a lot noisier than when you're wearing light armor. And the brightness meter will determine enemy sight. When you're in darkness, you're practically invisible, and enemies only know where you are based on your last seen location. So you can use this to help you get the drop on someone if things go loud. You can also go prone to avoid being seen from windows, waist-high walls, and cameras if you're close enough. Direct combat should only be a last resort, as the enemies in IV2 are incredibly smart. They'll rush in if they know they outnumber you, but if you can kill enough of them, they'll wait for you to come to them. A single unsuppressed shot can alert the entire level to your location, but this can also be used to lure enemies away from your objective. Harder difficulties make enemies smarter, not spongy. In fact, both enemies and yourself will die faster on harder modes, but the game also gives you a limited amount of quick saves per mission, and you'll get less the higher the difficulty. It's a great way to force the player to live with their mistakes, but I would recommend playing the game on normal so that you can get used to it and then bump it up to true if you want a real challenge. That said, you can always customize the difficulty. Intravenous 2 has 2 playable characters and very light RPG mechanics. One character is basically maxed out, with the other leveling up skills by performing actions, i.e. reloading will increase your reload stat. That or you can pay to train, but the amount of money it costs is based on the reputation that you have. You earn reputation by knocking out civilians instead of killing them, but some missions will actually have armed civilians, making it much more difficult if you knock them all out. Because if you knock an enemy out and one of their buddies finds them, they'll just wake them up and there went all of your progress. It's really risky not to kill them. As for the 2 characters, you don't get to pick which one you play as. Each level is predetermined, but thankfully all the weapons you'll unlock are unlocked for both of them. You can unlock guns, attachments, or support items with money that you can find during missions or by doing optional side missions. Unfortunately, you can't just replay a mission to grind currency, but beating the game does unlock New Game Plus, which keeps all of the guns that you unlocked. Okay, let's get into some of the bad stuff here. Choosing what to interact with on the ground can be extremely annoying. You might pick up a gun you didn't mean to, pick up a body, or turn a light on by mistake. It doesn't happen often, but it was annoying enough to mention. Your loadout also doesn't save properly between runs. You might rush into a mission not realizing that the game didn't save your previous loadout. And one mission actually lets you choose whether you tackle it during the night or the day. This is awesome and got me really excited because it completely changes how you play the level. Problem is, it only happens once. So what's the point? I would have rather had less levels with the night or day option. As a personal pet peeve, I wish that this game had an overall save file progression instead of being manual saves all the way through. Like if you end up replaying a previous mission, you're essentially just loading a save file from that mission. You don't just get spit back into the hub or anything. I guess what I'm wanting out of this is basically Metal Gear's VR missions. I want to be able to replay missions with all of the gear that I've unlocked, even if it doesn't end up actually progressing my story. Or better yet, let me just replay a mission and I can search for all of the hidden items within that level, and then that'll unlock on my current save file. Instead, as it is now, if you end up missing a crucial item like say a blueprint schematic for a gun, too bad, you'll have to get it when you go to New Game Plus. With all of that said, Intravenous 2's positives far outweigh the negative. This game is so clearly a labor of love. It's made by a stealth fan for stealth fans, and I loved it. It can be frustrating sometimes with how brutal it is, but I can still easily recommend it. I would also recommend the Intravenous 1 DLC. The developer basically remade the first game inside the second game. I did play the original and the DLC, but the differences are very small.